So, Pen, here we are, another episode of Chit Chat and All That with me, Amanda Prowse.
And me, Penny Dommett. Thank you for joining us yet again for your weekly dose of chatter. Round our kitchen table, please come and join us.
And how happy are we that you're taking a virtual seat and coming along for the ride?
So yes, give us a like, press the subscribe, I've been practicing that word.
You have, well done.
Follow button, pull up a chair, and welcome to all of you.
Ah, welcome. And do you know, Pen, one thing grabbed me this week. I was sort of, frolicking through the newspapers as you do. Frolicking. And there was a really interesting article about washing, showering and bathing. Something you think we all do every day. However, that's not always the case. According to this article, there were some celebrities who have come out and said, oh no, I don't shower every day. I don't even shower every week. And I was like, ooh, that's a bit, and on it goes. And a couple of medical reports were saying that actually it's not good for you to shower or bathe every day because it can disrupt your biome.
Oh, everybody's talking about their biomes these days.
You don't want your biome disrupted, Pen,
Definitely
apparently.
not. But I have a confession. I don't shower and bath every day because normally I'm up very early, 6:30, getting the flowers picked, ready for the orders. So obviously I'm not going to start having a shower at 6 o'clock in the morning before I go out, wake the whole household. And by the time I come back in, got other things to do. But I do love a bath.
Yeah.
I do. We do have the most massive bath.
You do. It's actually a swimming pool. I've seen it.
But when you've had a very dirty day.
Oh, Penny.
If you've actually got really muddy, and at the moment, because constantly I'm coming in soaked every single day, there is nothing more wonderful than getting into a great big deep bath. Couple of hours.
So can I ask you, when you were a kid, my cleanliness routine is I bathe or shower probably every day, but it's not always in the morning. So for example, if I have a bath or a shower late at night, I won't then get up, 6 hours later and have another one. I might just slip into my clothes and start writing, and then I'll have another one that evening. But then if I'm going out, I might shower twice. Hello, why not?
It depends what you're going to be doing.
Right.
I mean, if I'm going to go out and do a day's maintenance, I'm not going to bother having a shower in the morning or even wash my hair. I'm talking about washing. I don't wash my hair that often.
I used to be obsessed about washing my hair. I used to wash my hair probably every day, if not every other day. And I think about 5 or 6 years ago, that recent, someone said, you don't have to do that, don't you? It's just really destroying your hair. And actually, my hair's always better on the second or third day after I've washed it. It sort of styles better and looks better. And it's no longer greasy. It goes better. My curls are more vibrant. So I probably wash my hair maybe every 4 days. But I used to do it every day obsessively.
Yeah, no, well, I probably only wash my hair every 3 or 4 days because, as you know, my hair is nearly always under a hat.
You don't want to waste that Timotei freshness.
No, exactly. But I must just tell you a very funny story. This is one of the awful things about getting older.
Well, one of the many, Pen.
One of the many. Nowadays, I can't see tiny writing.
Oh, they've made writing very small and very fuzzy, I've noticed, in the last few years.
And consequently, when you haven't got your glasses on, which is normally when you're in the shower or the bath, and you haven't got access to your glasses. So my lovely daughter-in-law, Hannah, gave me a lovely new product from Kerastase. Is it Kerastase? Kerastase. Kerastase. What is it? Kerastase.
I don't know.
Anyway, it begins with a K.
I know the one.
Begins with a K. Very lovely. Very, very lovely. And shampoo is normally in a bottle, is it not?
It is often.
And often conditioner is in like a tub.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Give that a true.
Yeah. So when she handed this over to me in a tub, I thought, oh, how lovely. Some nice new conditioner. Mm-hmm. So since Christmas, I have been shampooing and conditioning my hair. Well, the other day, I thought, just having a check to see how many times a week I should be using this lovely conditioner. Didn't really think it had done any good at all. It turns out I've been double shampooing my hair. They were both shampoo. So I put on one lot of shampoo, get rid of the bubbles. Then I put another lot on, just putting it in gently, thinking, this is very silky. washing it out. In actual fact, they're both shampoo.
I love that, Pen.
But I couldn't read the writing.
No. I mean, we've had a couple of similar bathroom disasters. There was, I think it must have been a period in time where Simeon was spraying his underarms with my hairspray. And it was very sticky, apparently. And I said, did you not notice after the first time? He said, well, I didn't really know. I just thought, so yeah. But his underarm hair was beautifully coiffed, stylised, some would say.
Sort of standing on end.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It was quite beautiful.
Yes.
But when you were a child, so I remember my grandma telling me, so my nan and granddad grew up, obviously, in the East End, and they didn't have a bathroom. Not a bathroom outside, no bathroom.
Not at all.
No. And they had, in about the 50s, I think it was, they put a bath in their kitchen. So there was, this is God's honest truth, there was a countertop, which my great nan, Nanny Simpson, used to prepare all her vegetables on and food and cook. And it was like the one countertop. And then at the end of it were 2 taps. And of an evening, they'd remove the countertop and it was a bath. And they'd run a bath, shut the kitchen door, and you would get into the bath. Can you imagine peeling, cooking vegetables where someone has been washing their Rubik's? Literally under,
So where did they go to the loo?
Outside the outside loo. There was an outside loo.
There was an outside
There was an outside, Pen, they're not animals. I mean, digging a hole.
Well, I was thinking they had no bathroom.
It was Forest Gate, Pen, not bloody wilderness. Jeez. They had an outside loo and then this bath in the kitchen. And then I remember, it wasn't until, I want to say maybe late 70s, early 80s that they had a proper bathroom put in upstairs. And it was a big deal, yeah. But they never thought about it. And my mum remembers, she'd go and stay with them, obviously, and when she lived there. And it would literally be, as, ye old Victorian times tell us, tin bath in front of the fire once a week, filling up a kettle and having what you could. And she said it was the best bath ever in front of the fire. But they never considered washing every day or bathing every day, or certainly not washing their hair.
I used to have a bath once a week.
Yeah.
When I was little.
Bath night.
Yeah, totally.
Did you share the water with your sisters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd take it into. Although I have
Isn't that revolting?
Well, you say that, because I don't know whether I should be telling you this.
You're going to, though, aren't you, Pen?
But I have mentioned already, we have this huge bath that is wonderful. It's shaped like an egg. It's absolutely, and it is bliss. I mean, it's lovely after a very busy, dirty day. Mind you, the rule is I have to get in it first. Of course. I mean, that goes without saying. So I get into this lovely bubbly bath that quite often might have some Lush products in it.
Lush, lovely.
So might be purple, might be green.
Your purple soup.
With bits in it.
Nice.
And then my other half gets in after me.
You are absolutely kidding me right now.
No. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with that?
Oh my God.
We're saving the planet by sharing water.
Are you still in it when he gets in it?
No.
Well, I'd understand that more.
I mean, it's a big bath, not that big.
So hang on a minute.
So I get out.
No, hang on. Let's just circle back. You get in.
Yeah, nice and hot.
Ingrained in your filth.
Yes.
And your dirt.
Yes.
I've seen your fingernails, actually. You do look like you've been picking spuds all day.
I'm
But
a
that's
bag
another story.
lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you get a soap.
Yeah.
And you do all your bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And then your partner gets into that flotsam-laden soup.
Yes. But weirdly, I cannot get into the bath after he's been in it.
Penny, that's actually turned my stomach.
Why?
Because she's grime.
Do you not go to the swimming pool?
No, I don't go
You
to
don't.
no.
Well, hang on. You do swim.
I do swim.
You do swim in a pool.
I do swim in a pool. I just getting in a bath. No.
Oh, and perhaps it's because the products in my bath, especially bubbles, mean it hides any of the bits that float to the bottom.
Oh, for God's sake! The worst thing about it is you're saying you haven't got your glasses on. You could be in. It could be anything in that bath.
Well, no, I do. I mean, I wouldn't share it with just anyone.
Actually, well, I'm very glad to hear that. Hey, postman! I've got some spare water. Do you fancy a little dip?
I cannot understand the fascination with hot tubs.
No. Oh.
I mean, seriously, it turns my stomach.
It turns my stomach. As much as you sharing a bath with your partner.
That's with my other half. I mean,
listen.
that's different. I share a bed with him.
Well, that's just as bad, frankly. But I love my husband. I love my kids. I love my pets. Do I want to get in their bath water? Absolutely not.
Really? I can't see the point. But we have friends.
You don't have friends.
That in the summer say, "Oh, come on round. We're all going to get in the hot done together.
No, I think that's a
Why
bit
would you
sexy.
do that?
I think it's a bit sexy. I don't like it. I feel the same way about hot tubs as I do about massages.
Well, yes, but you're just weird.
No, I think
mean,
it's weird to get in the hot tub with people. I mean, strangers.
That is weird.
No.
That's weird. But massage, that's different.
I could tell you a terrible fact about hot tubs that I once read.
No. I actually know that fact.
It's true.
It is completely true.
Oh.
I have a very good medical person told me what happens to the body when you hit hot water.
Please, Pen. It's too much.
I totally agree with you on that. But massage, we need to do a whole section on massage.
I'm not doing that. It's filthy. Anyway, I should tell you, talking about turning your stomach. So you've just confessed to your disgusting habit. Something turned my stomach earlier today. Shall I share?
Dare I ask?
Many things. I'll share it with you. So I went to the hairdressers to get my nails done.
Very
my
lovely
new
they are
thing.
too.
I'm very, I'm not one of these girly girls. I don't do a lot of stuff, but I do have the hands of a troll. And getting my nails done just makes me feel slightly less troll-like. And it's a new thing and I'm just loving it. I'm really pleased with the result.
That's why I get my feet done.
Oh, geez, stop it. I think you're doing it on purpose. That's horrible.
See, I can't understand why would you get your nails done, your hand nails done,
And not your
then
feet nails.
and then find feet nails weird.
Whoa. It's making my bum clench.
I love having a pedicure because my poor feet are in boots all day, every day. They basically look like prunes when I get them out of an evening.
That's because you're in that bloody big bath. That's what's
So
pruning you up.
I love having a pedicure, you see. That's my treat.
Yeah, that's...
Your face is a picture.
I know, I'm...
Anyway,
back to
having your
me.
nails.
So I went to have my nails done. I was sitting in the little reception area and lovely Lauren said, would you like a coffee? I said, oh, that'd be lovely. Oat milk, Natch. So I had a little mini coffee with an oat milk, which is my treat, and I drank 2/3 of it and I put it down and it was on a little tray. And I thought, oh, actually, I don't want any more of that, because obviously a cup of coffee, I'd have to stop for a wee on the way home because it's about 8 minutes away. And I have to go every 6.5 minutes recently. It's my new hobby, visiting toilets.
I've been to yours twice today already.
I wasn't going to say, but yes, you have. And please go and wipe the seat before you leave. So anyway, I finished this coffee. I go through, I have my nails done. My lovely nail technician, is that the right phrase?
Yes.
Becky, my lovely nail technician, says, oh, do you mind if I take this phone call? I said, no, that's fine, darling. So Becky gets up, goes out to take a phone call. I'm sitting there, and after about 40 seconds, I thought, I may as well finish that coffee. I pick it up. I take a large swig, put the cup down, and remember that I'd left my coffee in reception, and it was the coffee of the lady who'd been having her nails done before me.
Oh, no, I wouldn't like that.
Who would? And honestly, I swear to God, I was sitting there thinking, don't be sick, because I just... I'm sure she's a very nice lady, but I don't want to be drinking.
She probably has a hot tub.
I don't want to be swigging on anyone's backwash. And that's exactly what happened. And Becky came down, she went, are you all right? I went, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I just drank someone's coffee and I feel really sick. She looked at me like I was weird and I thought, no, that's disgusting.
Mind you, that's not very good for them to have left that cup in there.
Oh, no, in all fairness, I think she thought that was my coffee.
Oh, I see.
So that's,
Yeah, that's
hence
right.
the confusion.
Yeah.
But it wasn't pleasant.
No. Oh, do you know, I've got a weird thing.
You've got many weird things.
I don't like nails. As in, I love nails. I love your nails that look lovely. But when I go to have my nails done, I cannot bear the thought of someone cutting nails.
No.
Makes me feel really, literally, I could throw up.
So, Pen, you and I don't agree on much, and we are polar opposites on just about everything, but I am in agreement with you. But Becky has a little thing that isn't a clipper. It's like a mini conveyor belt on a stick that goes really fast. Like a drill, like a drill thing, and she goes zzz, zzz, and she takes what she needs to of my nails without the clipperage.
Oh, well, what I do is I sing.
Does that make your nails fall off?
No.
Jesus, that's clever.
This is on my feet, obviously, because I'm having my feet done. So as she's clipping my toenails...
Oh, for God's love of God.
I literally am singing.
Someone has to touch your trotters and clip your toenails.
That's because that's what they do. That's what they're paid to do.
No.
And I have to sing really loudly so that I can't hear the nails being cut.
That poor person.
No, she gets paid very well.
I don't get... No. There ain't no money in the world that could make me do that job.
But you have your hand nails.
Your hand nails are different to your feet nails.
Really?
In every capacity.
Oh, foot massage. Oh, my goodness.
No.
That is my treat and a half.
God, Penny.
So you're...
How are we even friends?
Do you know what? I sometimes wonder.
Why?
I sometimes wonder.
I sometimes wonder. Talking about weird experiences, we had a very weird experience the other day, and we have quite a few. Now, our house was built in the 1600s, which is a long, long time ago.
You don't mean 4 o'clock then?
What do you mean?
1600 hours.
Oh, I don't know that. I can't.
What do you mean you don't know it?
I can't tell the time very well.
You don't.
And
when I say 60, so if Simeon's in the army,
I'm aware. That I know. I have no problem with that. Oh, that's where he's been for 6 months. I thought he was in the shed. Thank you for the enlightenment.
So I'm surprised. Doesn't he say to you, Mandy, get yourself ready. We're going out at 0800 hours.
So you think that in a house, whatever job you have is how you behave with your partner? Can you imagine if a fireman is living with his partner and every time he goes down to dinner, they have to come down a pole? Or if maybe you were a doctor and every time, your wife walks in, it's like, oh, time for your annual smear, but I'm just making toast. Doesn't matter, I'm a doctor. It doesn't work like that, Penny.
Really?
You can often leave the job at the door.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Although having said that, every time I see you, you do hand me cut flowers.
Exactly. See, my job never stays at the door.
So, where were we? Goodness knows.
1600s.
Our house, I can't tell the time, Pen.
You really can't?
I really can't.
Do you have a digital watch?
No, it's no good for me because and I can't tell the time, and that's why I don't have a sat-nav, because I can't do numbers or sums at all. I never know how old I am. I never know a measurement. I don't know the clock. If it's not, so Simi has to say to me, 3:05, and I know what that means. But if I'm looking at a clock, I find it really hard to know what the time is.
This is why we're friends.
It is, but
because
also
I can be as late as I need to be, and you never say.
Do you know what I say? Because it doesn't
late.
matter. I say it doesn't matter, darling, because it doesn't. But also, when you're on a sat nav and it says you will turn left at the roundabout in 400 yards, I don't know if that's the size of a Mars bar or a football pitch. I have no concept of measurements. So when they say you will slow down in 3 meters, I'm like, what does 3 meters mean? Am I 3 meters tall? Is it literally what someone runs? I just don't know. And it's awful. It's really embarrassing.
You are numerically dyslexic.
I'm numerically challenged.
Yes.
It's horrible. But I find it really difficult. So people will often just, throw figures at me or assume I'm getting a number. And I think I just have no idea what that means.
No, hang on. Because I know for a fact that you tell me how long your books are.
Oh, I know.
So you must know how many words make up half a book.
So here's a weird thing for you. So my books are usually around 120,000 words long. And all my chapters are roughly the same length. And I do it almost in rhythm automatically. And I suddenly go, chapter 2, and I write, and then I go, chapter 3. And often I get the chapter orders wrong. People have to, go back and change the numbers. But it's kind of like I write by rhythm, and I just do it in the rhythm of the words rather than the count. And I've always done it that way.
So you don't have some sort of count on your laptop?
There is on a Word document which I work in.
But it doesn't flash up?
No.
This is where the chapter should end?
No, it doesn't surprise me, Penny. But it's a weird one. I don't know. I've always, and I feel very embarrassed about it because it does hamper my life in many ways. And when people say, how old are you? And I go, I don't know. I'm about 50. It's not that I'm trying to add years off. Add years off? There we go.
Take years off.
Take years off. I'm not one of these people that, says, oh, no, I'm only actually 34. That are very tough paper round. It's not that. I genuinely think, how old am I? I'm anywhere between 55 and 60. I don't know. Somewhere around, let's go 57. That's fine. It'll do. Who cares?
Well, I can't add up at all.
No.
I mean, maths, I literally used to make myself ill before a maths lesson.
Oh, yeah.
I used to worry so much.
I can relate.
It. And yet, it's a shame because maths is very much in my adult life. But I never think of it as maths.
No.
So if only they taught us to have a realistic reason for knowing.
They do nowadays.
Do they?
Noah, my nephew, who is amazing, he's 12, I think. He does very practical maths. So it's things like paying a bill or, running a budget or understanding currency. It's really seems much more applicable.
Yes.
If that's
a
the
good
word.
word.
Thank you, Penny.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, I mean, that would have made much more sense to me.
Yeah, for sure. I still have to phone Simeon and I say, Simeon, I need to buy if one's £18 and one's 46, how much? Oh, for goodness sake. It drives him to exasperation, but I honestly, I just can't do it.
And is that at 1600 hours he's asking that?
Yes, 1600. So our house was built in 1600. It's creaky, it's wonky, it's dark. There are many unilluminated corridors. It's quite spread out, and it's quite an unusual property, I would say. And automatically when people come, they say, oh, is it haunted? Oh, is it haunted? Have you got a ghost? Because I think people partly want to think that, if there's a creaking door and there's, a graveyard or there's anything like that, don't we? We kind of assume, don't we? It's always a bit, I suppose, dramatic. And I've always been incredibly cynical and said, no, I don't believe in anything like that. And if you don't believe in it, then it doesn't matter, because you can't be afraid of it because it doesn't exist. So my question is, do you believe in ghosts and ghoulies? Do you believe in ghoulies, Pen?
No, I don't think I do, really. Funnily enough, I had this conversation with Monty, who is 5.
Mm.
He is fascinated with the idea of ghosts.
Is he?
And he totally says he believes in ghosts.
But
he's not at all worried.
That's marvellous.
He's not at all worried. He says, oh, no. He said, Granny, do you believe in ghosts? I say, no, not really. And he says, oh, I believe in ghosts. You should believe in ghosts, because ghosts are real. No, I don't believe in ghosts. But weirdly, if you said to me, do you believe in angels? See, I slightly want to believe in angels.
Okay. So for me, that's a slightly different thing. And I suppose one person's ghost is another person's angel. Exactly. What is the definition? But I've always been incredibly cynical. We have had a few odd things in this house, for sure. Very, very odd things that if you told me, I'd say, oh, Pen, you've been on the shabbly, love. I'd be cynical. But as it happened to me, and I know it happened, it makes me question a little bit. I'd say I don't believe in it, but I'm probably more open to it now.
Well,
because of what I've experienced.
Also, don't forget, last episode, you were saying that people think you're gullible.
Which I am.
So perhaps that has something to do with it.
Quite possibly. But it's strange, how my instant reaction to anything that feels a little bit ghosty or ghouly is to dismiss it. There's always a practical example. Yeah. Always. But we've had a couple of things that are harder to explain.
Tell me.
So I'll give you an example. Last weekend, all the family came over. Now, I'm a bit of a lover of a candle, as you know.
Yes.
A multi-wick in the middle of the coffee table. Bring it on.
Yes.
Love it. So I lit the candle and it was all beautiful, and people came about 2:00 in the afternoon. They left about 8:00 at night, and I thought, you know what? I'm candled out. Enough candleage. I blew them out. Switched all the lamps off and closed that room, and that was that. Before we go to bed at night, we go back into all the rooms. We check the windows because obviously, there's people coming and going. We shut the doors, blah, 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 blah. The room was in complete darkness. Everything was shut off, including, obviously, the candle, because that's one of my biggest fears. A lot of his house is wood and it bothers me. Went to bed, woke up at 7:00 the next morning, came downstairs, thought, I'm just going to nip into the library. I needed to get a book. Opened the door and the candle was lit. I was the only person up. So I thought, oh my goodness, that's weird. Has that been burning all night? And it would have had to have burned for about another, since we went into that room, it was probably 13 hours since we'd been in there. That candle would have burnt completely.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have 13 hours worth of burning. It wasn't a new candle. I do know a bit about my candles because I have them so often. And I would say, judging from the pool of wax that was in the top, when something has only just been lit, so it's like half an hour and there's like a tiny shallow pool.
Yeah.
It was like that. It was really odd. So I went upstairs and said, Simeon, have you just lit a candle? He's like, I haven't been downstairs. It was only he and I in the house, and the 2 French bulldogs, who are very clever, but their match dexterity is poor. So it wasn't them. I thought, this is really strange. So I blew the candle out, and I just had this really weird feeling. And I know it sounds bizarre. It's a weird feeling. I Googled it, and people were saying, candles can reignite if they're not blown out properly. But that tends to happen almost immediately or fairly quickly. We're talking about 13, 14 hours of sleep, of bedtime, and that candle had been lit.
Well, I was coming over tomorrow, but I'm not now.
But it's weird, isn't it? I mean, things like that.
It is weird.
But I also think, particularly since Simon, my brother, died, I want to find things. I want to feel connected to something bigger than this just everyday mundane life. I want to know he's sending me messages. I want to feel connected to him in any way I can. So I look for things.
Oh, yes, I think we all do. We all look for things from loved ones that we've lost. And of course, I received all sorts of cards and things after my sister died, one of which says something like, a robin appears every time you are near, and
I've
that
heard
sort of
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Which for me, being out in the garden all the time, you know, I'm forever seeing robins. So it's a comfort, isn't it?
It's
a comfort.
I also think when my granddad Joe died, who was my biggest cheerleader, my most wonderful supporter, I just miss him so much. I'd written Poppy Day, my first book, and he read it, and I said, what do you think? He said, I think it's wonderful. And he knew he was dying, and he said, when I get up there, if I can do anything, I hope you get your book published. And I just said, oh, that'd be lovely. You know, thank you, bless him. And then literally weeks later,
Amazing.
that agent came and found me and my life changed. But
Yeah.
I don't know, Pen, it's a weird one, isn't it?
I think all of us love to feel comforted by things. Now, whether that is little things like that, feeling that there's a bigger power looking after us, just having that comfort helps, doesn't it?
We have a strange one in this house, is that I don't smoke. I've never smoked. Simeon doesn't smoke. No one in the house smokes. And we are very remote. You know, we haven't got lots of neighbours or windows open with people walking about outside and things like that. And very occasionally, I will walk in a particular spot, in fact, 2 particular spots, and I will get an incredible smell of cigarette smoke. Like I have walked through someone smoking, like not just a whiff of it, but like, oh my gosh. And I'm very sensitive to it because I don't smoke. So it's, and I've had that a few times, and so has Joshie.
That is so weird.
It is, isn't it?
Weird. Mind you, as Monty keeps telling me, Granny, ghosts don't have to mean bad things.
He's right.
Ghosts can mean there can be good ghosts, Granny. So
I love his attitude.
yes. Oh, he definitely has got a very good attitude. But I still say to him, no, Monty, there's no such thing as ghosts.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think you have these weird things happen, and if it makes you feel comforted, then I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, you know, it's all about just finding happiness, right? Finding things that get you through the day.
Oh, totally. And for one person, it might be one thing, and for somebody else, it's something completely different.
What percentage of your time do you think you're happy in your life? What percentage of your life are you happy?
I am one of those really annoying people.
You are. I can guarantee you are one of those people.
I mean, I like to think that I will always find the positive side of it, of most things.
You do, actually. You do.
I mean, yes, obviously we all get fed up and we all get sad over, you know, lots of different things. And I get very frustrated. But the majority of the time, because I am in such a lucky position that the work that I do, I find fulfilling, satisfying, and it brings me literally joy. I mean, that I don't say that in a glib way. It really, but it's easy to feel joyful when you're surrounded by greenery and flowers, and you know, okay, it hasn't stopped raining, not the end of the world. I consider myself to be incredibly lucky.
I think it's more basic than that. I think it doesn't matter what job you do if it's a job you love.
Yeah.
So you happen to be amongst nature and flowers, which is your thing, and it's when you come alive. But I think if you're doing a job you really enjoy, if every day doesn't feel like a chore.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and also we're lucky to be able to choose the people we want to be surrounded by.
Yeah.
That must be hard. I don't think I'd be very good if I had to be dealing with the general public every single day. I mean, I could probably work in a shop, and I could probably work in a bar, and...
Although actually I have done a lot of those jobs and I didn't enjoy all of them, but then it made me happier when I was at home.
Yes.
Because I was so happy to be at home and so happy not to be doing the job that I hated. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts. I kind of feel that we, at the moment, there seems to be a bit of an obsession with happiness. You know, happiness is the goal. I say that myself. And we all strive to be happy. But actually, no one's happy all the time. And if you're not happy, I think there's a danger that you think, well, I'm not happy, therefore I must be sad. Whereas actually, if you're not overly happy, you might just be okay.
But I think people that slim it down to one thing. So happy is having enough money, or happy is being healthy, or, you know, happy is having a job. You know, all those sorts of, I think it's very different to that. Very different. Because I'm sure there are lots of people who have no job, probably are down on their luck, and they still find something to be happy about.
It's a state of mind, isn't it, Pen?
Totally. But it's, I remember somebody who used to really struggle with their mental health, and they said, if I can spend 5 minutes a day thinking of something to be happy for, and for just 5 minutes finding some happiness, they really felt like they'd won that day.
Yeah, and that's huge.
Yeah, it is huge.
So Joshy, as you know, has had in the past poor mental health, and it's variable, I think it's fair to say. And I used to say, I just want you to be happy. And he'd say, that means you kind of assuming that I'm sad, and I'm not. He described his depression really kind of eloquently, and he said, I'm not sad, I'm nothing, I'm numb. Sad would be an upgrade. You know, happy was so far out of his reach. He didn't even think about happy. He just felt numb, as though he wasn't part of the world. Not sad, not anything, no emotion, grey.
Because you wrote the book with him, didn't you? And that must have been such a difficult thing as a mother to do. I can't imagine, because you want your children to be happy, don't you?
Yeah.
And that totally with grandchildren, that is one of the biggest things. You want to wish them happiness, but you can't always have that.
My kind of measure of success as a parent changed dramatically when Josh became, you know, his mental health really, he unravelled, I think it's fair to say. And I'm not giving away any asides. You know, he's written about this in The Boy Between, which is the book we wrote together. But my kind of parenting changed in that I went from wanting him to be happy and wanting him to be the best doctor, lawyer, cowboy, artist, musician, sculptor the world's ever seen, to actually keeping him safe from harm.
Yeah.
It was that basic. It went from me thinking, you know, I'll do this and it'll give him a moment of joy. It wasn't even that. It was, I just need to keep him out of harm.
Yeah.
And the better he gets, and the more he gets a handle on his mental health, and the more things improve, which thankfully, touch wood, we was talking about superstitions, weren't we, last week? The more I do that, the more I see that actually happiness can feel like a pressure.
Yes, but that we're told this every day looking through social media. We're given every single time you scroll and there's someone else telling you to breathe like this and it'll bring inner peace, or, you know, do this before you wake up in the morning, or do this before breakfast and it will make you happy for the rest of the day. And people must clutch hold of those ideas.
And I think that's the answer, though. It's whatever gets you through.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to do whatever gets you through the day. And who knows, for some people that might be running a mile. For others, it might be a breathing technique. For others, it might be going shopping. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's whatever gets you through that day.
Yeah.
But I will say that people whose mental health suffers, people who have poor mental health, just to get up and face the world, or have a shower, or answer a phone call, or send a text, can be the most difficult thing that they have to, you know, the most difficult hurdle they have to overcome. And they're heroes.
Yeah.
Because that takes superhuman strength.
Yeah. Unlike somebody that like me, for example, that it's just second nature. It must be just so difficult. So difficult.
Yeah, I think so. Pen, I have loved talking to you today. That was a really lovely episode. Thank you for your wisdom.
Think as well, chatting.
Chatting, yeah.
That brings me a lot of happiness.
Chatting to me.
If you actually listened to last week's episode where we couldn't stop laughing, this week I think we've done really well.
I think we have to keep it together.
Yes.
I think we have,
yes.
my darling. But thank you so much for joining us for another episode. Keep an eye out for our next one, which drops every Friday from wherever you get your podcasts. Tell your friends, follow us, subscribe. Do keep up to date on our Insta page. And we'd like to say a big thank you to Mason Wilkins, our producer.
Thank you, Mason, so much for taking out all the ridiculous giggling.
Can you imagine how much would be left in if we didn't have Mason? Just be a giggle fest, wouldn't it, Ben? But until next time, Share your comments and views via our Instagram page.
Which is at the Chit Chatters.
At the Chit Chatters. So until next time, take care.
Bye.